Do we need a roll call?
No.
Okay. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for Orton Slough Drainage District.
Move it. Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. And the second item is to set the date and time for a formal hearing of the Orton Slough Improvement Project.
I have a resolution to do that as required by 468 of the code. Recommend the hearing be held December 2nd, 2014 at 10:30 a.m. here at the Board of Supervisors office in the courthouse.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'm aware that there's a sizable amount of folks that are in that area that will oppose this project based on cost.
I've spoken with a couple of them. We have seen some cost inflation. A lot of that has been due to the additional erosion control measures that have been added to the project. That work is costly. That's why we look for a state grant to help us pay for that. At this point, though, you have received the formal report. You at least have to proceed to the hearing. One of the findings of the hearing can be that the project is infeasible due to cost. The landowners, 50% of the landowners exercise what Ivan keeps talking about with the right of remonstrance, is basically 50% of the landowners representing 70% of the land can file a letter, petition, notice with the board that they do not want to see the project proceed.
Okay. So now, we're legally bound to set the public hearing for that to happen? We just can't, go ahead.
I don't agree that you have to set the hearing. If you look at the code section, if it's a repair, to return it to its original design capacity, and you have a report that it's deficient, then you have to set the hearing. If it's to enlarge or an improvement as defined by the code, you can get the report, and it says if the trustees determine that it's advisable to do the work. So you could stop it at any point in the process. I think there's good reason for you come this far to go ahead and set the hearing, but I don't think that the code
Requires
mandates
us?
that you set the hearing.
Okay. Can I have, there's Mr. Yokelman back. He did call me and several of the other board members yesterday about this, and he'd like to speak to this issue. Mr. Yokelman, would you please take the stand up here, please?
I'm Leo Yohan from Salem, a producer that is in the Farmers Drainage District, the Orton Slough Drainage District also. This is what I'm preparing to have. I only have 2 sheets, so that's right. I'm prepared to get the signatures after visiting with about 7, actually, counting myself as 7 landowners that I presume have voted in favor of doing something. We were looking at a cost then, maybe $125, $130 an acre. Right now, we're at $478 and probably still rising. And there's no way that it's feasible. I'm hoping that we can stop the process right now until those signatures get in. It sounds like it's a possibility to do that so that we don't have any more expenses with that. The diligence that the board has had and Ben has been great. Done a good job.
Thank you.
Expenses got away with us. I was talking to Mark this morning. There's so many little conservation practices that have to be done. And I think it's putting this thing out of range so that it's not a feasible project for the farmers. We got 2,300 acres. And it's just, not all of them are affected anyway by the water. So at this point in time, I guess I'm saying, do I have to get signatures, or is this enough to just sit tight, or what do we have to do?
I would refer this to our attorney. From my perspective, I'd like for you to get the signatures of the landowners that is not in favor of it, so that we have that on record. And then if we need to, we can have a special meeting to set the public hearing if the board wants to do that. But if we if we get those signatures of the landowners that is not in agreement with this project and wants to kill it now, I think that we should kill it.
Maybe a couple weeks.
Yeah, at
I
least.
think we, since we had almost 50% that were in favor of it before the costs really started to climb, it would be helpful to have.
Yeah.
That way, it also helps, I think, protect the board as trustees,
Absolutely.
that, you have given it consideration, but you are listening to the majority of folks out there.
Well, I would
I was gonna
recommend.
get Leo the list, the tax list there,
Good.
so he knows who to contact.
Good. Well, I
I would
would,
move that we postpone the date and time for a formal hearing for 2 weeks.
is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. We appreciate your
Thank you.
statement.
You certainly may have it.
All back, Leo.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you, Leo.
right,
You know,
thank you.
it's nice to get some feedback sitting here. You know, it's been weighing heavily on me for quite some time, to be quite
It
honest.
hasn't been easy getting this far.
I hate if they get wasted time.
No, that's right. It's not been a waste of time.
No.
Item C, I don't think that we need to proceed with that.
I'd say we table all the
All the
items
items.
on the agenda for the day.
I make that motion?
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay. I entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is adjourned. Meeting's adjourned.